Hello everybody, welcome to the beautiful Drennan and Lindholme lakes. I'm with my old mate today, Kristian Jones. And we're just having a great day out with Chris, to be fair.
Yeah, we've come on what I'd say is my favourite lake at Lindholme today, Loco. And the reason I like it so much is quite a big, deep lake, full of big fish, it's full of big F1s. And it's just a little bit different, isn't it? It's just a bit like a big lake like this, full of F1s. It's just awesome. And the fish, some of the F1s we've had today, we've had some massive ones, haven't we?
Oh, it's been great, Eric. It's been absolutely great. Let's zoom in a little bit and have a look what's happening out there if we can. We're in. We're jigging away, pal, aren't we?
Yeah, we're on the jigger. That's what we've done a bit of a... Ooh,
Is that a fish?
There's some roach by the looks, Tom, or skimmer.
Tell you what, you've done well. You've not had many of them today, have you?
No, I think I've had one more silverfish. Like, we're fishing pellets today, aren't we, Tom? Obviously, we could have used casters today with us pleasure fishing, but with the fishery rules and stuff like that now, which stipulate in, you know, match situations that you can't fish with casters, we decided to fish with pellets. So we actually haven't had too many of them, but
hey, we've started off with something different, haven't we?
it's a bite, isn't it?
A bite's a bite, mate.
Yeah, but it seems today, like, from what, you know, we've been doing this for a little while now, and it seems like you'll get a little spell where it goes a little bit more quiet, and then all of a sudden you'll catch 4 or 5 F1s in a matter of minutes, won't you? It'll get a real good little run.
Definitely, definitely.
So we're fishing about 3 foot deep. 2.5 to 3 foot deep's definitely been best today. Again, I think because obviously when you're fishing with pellets, they sink a little bit faster than maybe. There's one.
Oh, it's turned away at the wrong time. That's not a roach, is it?
No, I don't think so. Saying that though, he's being very lazy.
Could be a bream this time.
Could be a bream. I could be going through all the silverfish, couldn't I, here, Tom?
No, that's a big F1,
I think he's an F1, just a bit of a lazy one. But no, because what I was saying is because we're fishing with pellets, sink a little bit faster than, say, you know, maggots or casters, you tend to catch them a little bit deeper. So like 3 foot today has probably been best, whereas I feel like, you know, if we'd have been fishing with casters, probably 18 inch to 2 foot might have been the one. He doesn't want to pull much elastic out, does he?
These are big, I think. It could be one of them great big nodders. Oh, it is. Look at the swirl.
Which is interesting because most of them have pulled like mad today. It's actually a little car.
It's not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, bad netting. We have had a couple of carps today, haven't we, on this as well, Tom?
Yeah.
Maybe again to do with fishing with pellets.
Yeah, it's a great fish, isn't it? Great catch.
Nice fish.
Lovely. So, I mean, obviously today we've been covering a lot of the key principles behind jigger fishing, how you do it, what you do it. We've got a video going out about that. Just tell us, mate. I mean, obviously, this is a big open water lake, this.
Yeah.
And it's quite a different approach to what you'd do on, say, a snake lake, isn't it, today? You've been much more aggressive from what I've seen.
Yeah, so obviously, like I said, big lake, deep as well. It's probably up to sort of 10 or 12 foot deep. And, you know, if you go to somewhere, or even on one of the smaller lakes here, maybe somewhere like Willers or Laurels, you know, you don't have to be quite as aggressive with your bait. But when you're on this lake, I feel like one of the most important things is you have to draw some fish in your peg. So, being quite positive with pellets, I'm probably feeding, you know, good 20 pellets at a time, twice, constantly feeding, being quite positive. And by doing that, it's just getting the fish in your peg. And normally on here, once the fish turn up in your peg, it's just absolutely solid, isn't it? In spells today, we've literally gone in, lowered the jigger down, and we've been straight in, haven't we?
It's interesting though. You know, we're sort of a couple of hours into the session. You've just opened your 3rd bag of pellets, so we are really rafting them in. I'm going to try and come behind you and show a bit of a different point of view. Look at that, folks. How good does that look?
100%. Like, can't be negative with your bait. Obviously, maybe when the fish turn up, you can feed a little bit less, but I don't like to. I like to keep plenty of bait going in, keep drawing new fish into my peg, keep making that noise, ringing the dinner bell. And I think on a lake like this with so many fish in, it's just the best approach is to be as positive as you can.
Absolutely, so, really attacking it. And it's probably my favourite lake, this one at Lindholme. It's just great, and it's so many big fish, isn't there?
And we're going to have a go down the edge, aren't we, later on, and we're hoping we can snare some of them real units. I think, you know, we had a coaching day, you know, the coaching 2-day the other day, and I think people caught fish up to £20 on this lake, didn't they? Some cracking fish.
I took a photo of a guy in that far corner with a massive carp. It was close to £20, definitely.
So, see if we can get another one.
So just I mean, people talk about jigging and the jigger, and some people think, you know, it's a constant thing for you. Oh, there we are. For you, it's much more about a flick upwards than a lower down, isn't it, from what I can see?
Yeah, so what I always like, it's with all my shallow fishing, is to find that critical depth where I feel like I'm hitting most of my bites, and that's where the main bulk of the fish are. I want to find that perfect depth. So what I don't like doing is lowering the whole length of the rig up and down constantly. I feel like you waste a lot of time fishing at the wrong depth by doing that. I want to be in and amongst that little feed zone all the time. So what I tend to do is I lower it down quite quick to me stop, get down to where I feel the fish are, which is about 3 foot today on this stop, and then all I'm going to be doing is lifting it up to just get that hook bait fluttering up and down, and then obviously the fish are just snatching at it, and you catch one.
And the great stamp, aren't they, when you do? Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that badger. That's £3.5, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 3-pounder, isn't he, Tom? And amazingly, that isn't a massive fish for this lake. That's probably just an average size fish, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a bit special, isn't it, mate?
I think it might be worth noting as well that this was the lake you actually won the commercial national off at the weekend, wasn't it, Tom?
I wasn't going to say that, pal, but being as you have, you know.
So I just wanted to say well done to Tom while we were on as well. That was an awesome weight.
Well, and you didn't do so bad yourself that day winning your lake. Just a quick question, mate. Sorry, before you go out, somebody's just asked on a question on here to have a look at your bulk.
Yeah.
So just stocked, is it?
Yeah, bulk of stock. So obviously I'm using a Richie Wilson jigger, 0.4. Take 6 number 8 stocks.
Yeah.
And that's so that even with a 4mm pellet, when I lower it down to me stock, that's not overshotting it. But crucially, that's as much weight as I can get down the line that doesn't overshot it, which is really important because I want quite a positive rig, because this venue, it catches the wind. You can see today we've got a bit of a wind on, quite strong in our face here. So if you don't have enough weight down the line, obviously you don't keep the line tight enough to hook the fish. So just find that 0.4, 6 number 8 down the line, perfect.
So taking into account we've got a short kit on there, probably 13 metres in total there, is it?
Ooh,
just over?
I had a bite really shallow then. There was one right high up.
Did you?
Yeah. So it might be a case of having a go on my shallow rig in a sec. Down to the stop, and then just a quick flick up and lower down. Quick flick up, lower down. What you're trying to achieve, in my opinion, is the hook bait fluttering about. So if I just lift up slow and lower it back in, you've just got that pellet coming up and down slow on a tight, on a tight line. What I want is to flick it up and get that hook length fluttering about. I feel like that just encourages the fish to snatch at it.
Definitely.
Sometimes it can look like, you're moving it too quick and you're not going to get a bite doing it like that, but for me, that is definitely the most effective way of using this rig.
And obviously nice tight feeding is important. You've got your trademark Drennan catapult there, solid plastic pouch.
Yeah, the one I always use in it, Tom. It's Waggler range catapult with the medium elastic, there's one. But even though it's called Waggler range, I use it for all my pole fishing as well, just purely because I can easily get my bait out to the distance. Even if that wind picks up today, I can get it out. I can keep everything grouped nicely. And I just think it's really important to use a stronger catapult. I find with your lighter catapults, especially at that sort of distance, the bait just ends up spreading out.
Yeah, definitely. Another great F1.
Cracking fish, aren't they?
They're great, them, aren't they? I think we'll catch one more for these lovely folks, and then we'll do a little bit of margin hunting, shall we?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Probably a bit early for it now, but we've been feeding it, and I feel like we've seen a few carp topping in close. I feel like we're going to get some down the edge today.
But well, first we'll have one more on the jigger, shall we, I think?
Yeah. Another thing that might be, quickly worth touching on as well, what I'm using today is like quite a heavyish elastic, maybe for what most people would use in a short kit. Again, purely just one to do with the stamp of fish, but also because it's quite a deep lake. I tend to find when it's deep, especially you've got some depth under your feet, the fish are diving quite deep. If you use too light an elastic, you actually pull the hook more by trying to put too much pressure on the fish.
Yeah.
Whereas if you use an elastic with a bit of backbone in, the elastic just does the work for you and helps to get the fish up a bit easier.
So that's just a grey hydro, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's grey hydro through a short kit, which we just got, you know, a short number 3 and a match number 2. It just works absolutely perfect for, you know, catching these decent fish shallow, and we've had a few decent carp on this today and it's handled it no bother.
And the thing is, I mean, with the size of fish in this lake, you don't need loads of them for a weight, do you, either? It's, you know, if you catch even 50 or 60 fish here, you're going to have well over 150 pounds, perhaps close to 200 pounds, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, I think you could easily catch F1s in them average, you know, 4 or 5 pound. You know, if you catch them really big stamp what's in here, there is a lot of fish knocking on the door, sort of 6, 7 pound, isn't there, Tom?
There is. Yeah, there's some huge F1s. And then of course we've got the big carp as well. I know Jordan on the national, he was over. I'm just going to turn around and show you. He's in this corner fishing up to that tree, and again I've missed the bite. He's turned away for a second and he nails one. Look at that.
Yeah.
And he was in that corner under that tree I just showed you, and he
I think you're always, you know, likely to catch a few carp mixed in, aren't you, as well? That's the thing. That's another reason why using quite a strongish elastic, I think, is very important on a lake like this. Definitely.
Well, we'll get this one in the onion sack and then we'll sign off. I hope you enjoyed this bit of a live. I hope.
This could even be.
Is this a carp? Have you just taught one on?
Interesting. If it might just be an angry F1. We have had a few like this today, haven't we? Which have been a bit.
Yeah.
Seeing that first fish where I just wobbled in. A few of the F1s have pulled back really strong.
Yeah, some of them. They don't like it up them, do they? No.
No one likes to see that, Tom.
You know what you've got to do now, don't you?
What?
Catch another one before we go.
Yeah. I think my stop's actually slid up a little bit, so maybe that's the reason I've fouled up one. I think it's actually slid a little bit too close to the pole. I thought I noticed that last chuck. We'll move it back down to 3 foot. Might have just been a foul up F1 that, I think. Didn't snap me, so I presume that's what it was.
Yeah. Right, I'm not taking my eyes off the ball this time, folks. We're going to get the bite and the fish and everything this time. No distractions.
So, before I ship out, I always give it 2 lots of pellets. I think that's really important because obviously we're fishing quite deep. By the time I get out and lower my rig down, hopefully I'm somewhere in amongst them pellets. And it gives you a chance of catching one really fast. When there's a lot of fish there, I find that's definitely the most efficient way of doing it. So lower it down to my stop, give it a little strike up just to float with my hook bait, lower it back down, lift it up, and then once you've done that a couple of times, get the feed back in. Really important to keep that feed going in all the time. Do you get the feeling, Tom, if you turn round now, it'd go?
Yeah, that's why I'm not moving, pal. I'm literally, I'm on it. I'm not having that again.
Sure, we'll get one.
I've got to ask you, pal. I can see you've got 2 things on your side tray today: 4mm pellets and a Cadbury's mini egg bar. Oh, look at that one by the float. Cadbury's mini egg bar. There you are. Look at that, and we got it, folks. What part do you think the Cadbury's mini egg bar plays in your success?
Well, we sell some of that in the shop, in the tackle shop here, and when I seen it the other day on the National, I couldn't help myself but buy some. So I had a decent day on the National, so I thought, just a bit of a superstitious thing, let's get another bar today, and luckily we've had a few bites, haven't we, Tom?
We have, mate. So
very nice as well, isn't it?
It's absolutely lovely. Oh, look at him. Big golden F1 to finish on. So there you are, folks. Hope you've enjoyed that little preview, I'm going to call it, into the video we've got coming for you soon. As you can see, we've caught some great fish. And if you want to join us a bit later, we'll be over on Facebook Live doing a bit of margin fishing as well.